Hello and welcome to St. Andrew Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is online lecture series. I am Rohit Raj from Civil Engineering Department. We are discussing geomatics and aerial surveying, which is in your fourth semester syllabus. And this is seventh lecture in this series. Today we will discuss few problems on error estimations. Okay, till now we have studied what are the errors and different types of errors. Okay, now we'll discuss problems. Okay, so these are the equation that we'll be using in finding the probable error. This is probable error for single observation, that is 0.6745 multiplied with under root summation v square divided by n minus 1, where v is the difference between the observed value and mean value of any observation. Okay, and n is the number of measurements. Similarly, we have standard deviation. There will be this term won't be there. Okay, so this term, if we remove this term from this equation, this will be standard deviation. Similarly, we have probable error of mean. There one extra term is added to the denominator. Okay, and that is n. Okay, if we will say overall, then it is root n multiplied divided to the probable error of the single observation. Okay, we'll divide with root n, then it will be probable error of mean. And if we'll remove this term, that is plus minus 0.6745, okay, there will be standard error. Okay, standard error of, okay. Now we'll see law of accidental error. Okay, as we have seen that it is obvious that large errors are not frequent. Okay, and errors of equal magnitude are probable. Okay, means if the chances of zero point 0.5 error will be both will have equal magnitude, that is minus 5 or plus 5. Okay, the error in any reading will have same probability of both signs. Okay, that is plus 5 error or minus 5 error. Okay, so what we have to find: probable error, then probable error of mean, or probable error of sum, or root mean square. Okay, that is mean square error, MSE. Okay, so we'll see law of, okay, the weight of an arithmetic mean. Okay, arithmetic mean of a number of observation of unit weight is equal to the number of observations. Okay, if its weight is 1, its weight is 2, and its weight is 3, then for the calculation of mean, what we'll do, okay, uh, we'll add this for 1 time, and we'll add this for 2 times, and we'll add this for 3 times, and then we'll divide it with 6, not 3. 6, 1 and 2 for this, and 3 for this. Okay, so how we will calculate this? We'll calculate using this. And for arithmetic mean, this is only added simply and divided by 3. But for weighted arithmetic mean, what we'll do, we'll multiply the values with their weights and then add them, and then we'll divide it with this sum of weights. Okay, so this is basic difference between weighted arithmetic mean and simply arithmetic mean. Okay, mathematical arithmetic mean. Okay, in mathematical arithmetic mean, will not consider weights. Okay, simply will add the values and will divide them with the number of values. Okay, number of observation or number of readings. But weighted arithmetic mean will be calculated by multiplying the readings with their weights and then dividing with the sum of their weights. Okay, so this is how we'll calculate. This is reading and its weight. Okay, so will multiply the reading with its weight, and then second will multiply this reading with its weight and this reading with its weight, and will divide with 6. Okay, why? 2 plus 1 plus 3. This will become 6. So this is how we have calculated, and that is 40 degree, 30 minute and 15.83 seconds. This is the weighted arithmetic mean. You can clearly find this is different from earlier what we have calculated as simple arithmetic mean, that is 1 to 1. That is 40 plus 30 plus 40. This will become 1 to 1, 30 degree 45 minute, and this will be divided with 3. So it will become 40 degree 30 minute and 15 seconds. Clearly the difference is quite high. Here 40 degree 30 minute 15 seconds, and here 40 degree 30 minute and 15.83 seconds. Now if a quantity of given weight is divided by a factor, the weight of the result is obtained by multiplying its given weight by square of that factor. Suppose weight of a by 2 will be 6 multiplied with 2 into 2, that is 24. This is, you can say that this is the second principle of weight concept, that is if a quantity of given weight, okay, suppose there is weight, earlier it has weight of 1, now it has weight of 1 by 2 or 1 by 4. Okay, so if a given quantity, if a quantity its weight is divided by a factor, the weight of the result is obtained by multiplying its given weight by square of that factor. Okay, so quantities is divided with some factor, then its weight can be obtained by multiplying the square of that quantity with which the quantity has been divided. Okay, suppose we have earlier weight of A as 6, then we have divided it with 2, means we have weight of A by 2 will be 6 multiplied with 2 into 2, that is square of 2. Okay, so this will become 64. Suppose a quantity is A, and if its weight is 3, then what will be the weight of A by 3? That will be 27. Now it is quite easy to understand how it became. We have to multiply, for calculating the weight of A by 3, we have to multiply it with 3 square, that is 9. And earlier the weight was 3, so this will become 3 into 3 into 3, and it will become 27. Okay. Similarly, this A by 3, any quantity will mean here, this is the prior weight before the term has been divided with 3. Okay, so its weight was 6. Now this will become 6 multiplied with 3 into 3, that is square of the factor with which the quantity A has been divided. Okay, so this principle is quite important. They may ask you that how weights of certain quantity changes when the measured quantity is reduced or multiplied. Okay, so this is the relation. If it is divided by certain number, then the weight is calculated by multiplying the square of that number. Okay, if it is multiplied with some number, same reverse, the weight will be calculated by dividing. The theory of least square. The principle of least square can be stated as the most probable value of a quantity evaluated from a number of observation is the one for which the squares of residual error is minimum. Okay, what does this statement say? That for a quantity, okay, if number of observation has been taken, then most probable value will be when the sum of squares of residual error is minimum. Okay, and we already we know how to calculate the residual error, and then we can square it. Okay, the sum of square of error from the mean is minimum. Okay, we have to calculate the sum of squares of the error. Now we know the relations, how to calculate the probable error of single observation of unit weight when there is no uh, weight factors, that is any reading is taken only one time. Okay, weight simply resembles how many times that particular value arises during the observation or table. Suppose we have measured certain length, that is we are measuring a field and we are measurements, the length came 100 feet. Okay, and again it came 101 feet, then 102 similarly. So there may be certain values, but it is not necessary that each value will be unique. Sometimes their values may repeat itself, and for that we'll have to read that repetition, that how many times these value repeat itself, and that is called as its weight, that weight of that reading, that particular reading. Suppose 100 feet repeated itself 3 times in our calculation. So the weight of reading, that is 100 feet, will be 3, and we'll calculate a weighted arithmetic mean by multiplying 100 feet with 3, that will 300 feet, and similarly we'll divide the number of readings plus 2 extra for that repetition. Okay, so now I think you will be able to understand this. We'll solve basic numericals on them that examiners may ask you in your university paper. Okay, and they have same question every year. They ask same question based on with their unit weight concepts. Okay, or weight concepts. So here the equation is plus minus 0.6745 multiplied with root under v square divided by n minus 1, where v square is residual error. Okay, and how we'll calculate them? Simply we'll subtract each observation with their mean. Okay, we'll subtract each observation with their means, and then we'll square them and add them. So we'll get this term v square, and n is the number of observations. Suppose there are 10 observations, so the denominator will become 9. Okay, because it is 9, 10 minus 1, that is 9. Similarly, for probable error of single observation of weight W. So we were discussing that if 100 feet value repeats itself 3 times, then for calculation of probable error of that particular observation, what we'll do, we'll calculate using this relation first, ES. Okay, that is probable error of single observation. Here S resembles single observation. Okay, so we'll calculate ES. Then what we'll do, we'll divide that ES with the weight of that particular observation. Okay, suppose in our example we have considered that 100 feet repeats itself 3 times, so we'll divide this with root 3. Okay, and if we are interested in finding out this probable error of single arithmetic mean, then we'll divide simply with number of observations under root number of observation. Okay, so nothing you have to remember, you just keep in mind what we are doing here. We are for the calculation of single observations, okay, of weight W, we'll divide it with root W, and for arithmetic mean we'll divide it with number of observation in under root. Okay. If we have direct observation of unequal weight, then this formula will be modified as follows. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll simply multiply the weights in the residual errors that we have calculated. Suppose we have the weight is 2. So once we have, we'll subtract the observed value and mean value, then we'll multiply that with the weights, and then we'll calculate the square of that term. So this will become WV square. Okay. Another formula will remain same. Okay. Just another term here, just this term. And in case of arithmetic mean, this W will come. Okay. Why this? Because W is for this resembles here the number of repeated terms. Okay. So this will arise here also. Okay. Indirect observation of independent quantities. Indirect observations of involved conditional quantities and computed quantities. We'll see examples. Okay. Following readings of labels were carried out, that is 2.335, 2.345, and 2.350. Again, we have 2.315, 2.305, 2.325, and 2.315. So what we have to find out, probable error for single observation. Okay. And we know the formula for probable error of single observation, that is ES, and that will be plus minus 0.6745 multiplied with under root V square divided by n minus 1. Okay. So first of all, these are the readings, 8 readings. So we'll calculate mean of them. How we'll calculate this? We'll add all of them and we'll divide with 8. So this will become 2.324. Okay, you can check. You just cross check this. Okay, whether it is true or wrong. Okay. After that, what we'll do, we'll subtract all them. Okay, we'll subtract 2.335 uh, from 2.324. Means we'll subtract 2.324 from 2.335. That is observed value subtracted with mean value. That is this 2.324. Observed value subtracted with mean value. So this will become 0.011 for this. Means you can cross check verbally also. 335 subtracted with 324, this will become 0.11. Okay, similarly 345 subtracted with 324, this will become 0.21. Similarly, you can calculate and you will get these value. And now what we have to do, we have to square them and then we'll add all of them. Okay, so this will become 18.59. Okay, so this will become 18.59 and we have 8 terms, so n is 8. So we'll divide 8 minus 1 and we'll put these value here in this equation and we can get ES, that is probable error of single observation, using the relation 0.6745 multiplied with under root summation V square divided by n minus 1. Here we have already calculated V square, that is 18.59, and n, that is 8 minus 1. N is 8 and here it will become 8 minus 1. So after substituting all these value, we'll get our answer as 0.01233 meter. Okay, you can cross check these values. Now, if we have to calculate the probable error of mean, so for calculating the error for mean, what extra we have to do is that just we have to divide ES with the root n, and n is here number of observation, that is 8 for this. Okay, so n will be divided and this root n 8. So this will become 0.00436. probable error of mean. Another question is, find most probable values of angles A, B, and C of a triangle ABC from the following observed values. Okay, we need to find out the most probable value. So how first we'll calculate what is the error in these readings. So first of all, these all are the values of a triangle. So their sum must be 180. So this is how we'll start. We'll first add them, and they must be 180. So if we start, if we add them, this will become here. Okay, in this problem, they have not solved this like this. Uh, they must be 180 if there is no error. Okay, but the equation says a plus b plus c should be 180 degree, and c is 180 minus a plus b. Yes, simple equation. They have they just shifted this to right side. And now a plus b will become 180 minus 63, and this will become like this. Okay, now observation equation says that a is equals to this, b is equals to this, and a plus b is equals to this. Same equation. Okay, now 2a plus will become this. How? We have to just simply add this. Okay, first and third. Okay, if we add first and third, then this will come 2a plus b is equals to 168.54. And similarly, if we add second and third, then this will become a plus 2b, and we'll have to add them. Okay, so this comes 180 degree, 36 minutes and 18 seconds. Now we'll multiply equation 5 with 2. So this will become 2a plus 4b. So we'll calculate b. Okay, because these two, 2a plus b and 2a plus 4b. So this, if we subtract them, okay, if we subtract equation 4 from equation 6, we'll get b is equals to 64 degree 6 minutes and 2.67, and a is equals to 52 degree 24 minutes and 12.66 seconds. Now we can calculate c is equals to 63 degree 29 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay. Also, we can calculate standard deviation using this relation, where sigma is our standard deviation, and the relation is stated here. M minus MPV is residual. Okay. And we'll calculate sigma by just taking square root of this. Okay. So for calculating this, we have to just take square root of these terms. Okay. Another thing I would like to mention here, this is important. Okay, so you need to keep this in your mind always, and they may ask you in any competitive exams that how error are transferred, or how errors are carried during any mathematical operations. Okay, suppose some quantity have error of 2 plus minus 2 mm, another quantity have error plus minus 4 mm. Then what will be the error if we add them, or if we subtract, or we multiply or divide? Okay, so for that we have uh, rule. Okay, so we'll see them. Okay, suppose a quantity uh, x has probable error of delta x and y has probable error of delta y. So what will happen if we add them or subtract them? The probability of error will remain same whether we are subtracting or adding them. Similarly, whether we are multiplying them or dividing them, error will, and the probability of error to the value will remain same. Okay, so how we'll calculate for addition? The relation is that for the quantity that is z, that can be obtained using adding or subtracting the x or y, the delta z will become as delta z is equals to delta x square plus delta y square, where delta x is the error, probable error in x, and delta y is probable error in y. Okay. Similarly, for multiplication, this is delta z by z. Z will know just by multiplying. Okay, and we need to find out this delta z and how it can be determined just using this relation, that is delta x by x whole square plus delta y by y whole square in under root. Okay, means that is under root delta x by x whole square plus delta y by y whole square. So this is for addition or subtraction or multiplication or division. You can keep them in mind. Okay. Uh, so we'll continue from here in coming lecture. Okay. Till then, thank you for listening and feel free to ask any doubt. Okay. You can text WhatsApp on this number, or you can just email using this mail ID. Thank you.